Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm John Griffin, and I'm here with the Grant family, Cheryl and Ed Grant Jr. We're here to talk about Grant's Lounge 40th anniversary. It's going to be quite a happening. Just a little bit of history. Grant's Lounge had a very, very major impact on music history, not only in Macon, but throughout the United States of America and throughout the world. You've got such folks as Greg Allman, the Allman Brothers, Wet Willie, Marshall Tucker Band. They got their start there. Charlie Daniels, he's eternally thankful for Grant's. I speak to Charlie periodically, and he's just absolutely overwhelmed by the impact that Grant's had on Macon, Georgia. Basically, I think, to put it mildly, it was back during the 70s when the long-haired hippie types would roll in who were very, very credible musicians. They could go out to a local establishment to have a beer or to socialize, and generally they were not accepted. So to have a black-owned establishment on Poplar Street accept the musicians like family and to allow them to rehearse, to jam, and do that kind of thing, it's a real tribute to Grant's Lounge and the history of it. It's gotten a lot of attention. It's been revived here recently. There's a lot of the younger generation of musicians who are starting to perform there, and the attention has been such that it's sort of part of a trilogy. Southern Living magazine recently did a profile on Macon, its music, the H&H restaurant, Grant's, the Big House Museum, the Allman Brothers Band Museum, which, by the way, was featured on CBS Morning Show this past week with Greg Allman. So those are just a few things that we're celebrating, and the bands that have been hired for the event. Davin McCoy is an up-and-coming world superstar coming out of Atlanta, opening for the Lee Boys, who have been on the stages with the Allman Brothers and the big bands. So we're talking about a major 40th anniversary celebration coming up, and it's certainly a pleasure to be a part of it.
Good morning. I'm Cheryl and I want to thank you all for coming out to help us, and we're very excited about our 40th anniversary. My dad sat us down to the table one day and told us that we were going to have to tighten our belt because he was getting ready to mortgage his house so that he could open up a business, not knowing that it would still be alive for this fourth decade. In 1971, February 16th, Dad opened the doors of Grant's Lounge at 576 Poplar Street, not knowing that it would be the original home of Southern rock. Many articles have been written about the lounge in Rolling Stone, Washington Post, London Times, even in Southern Living magazine, Address magazine, and the Macon Telegraph. There were even movies filmed there. One of the movies I remember was Mr. Griffin and Me, starring Bridget Meredith, and Patrick O'Neill was the producer for that. Grant's Lounge was Bubba's Tavern in that particular movie. Visitors from all over the world would come to the place where Southern rock got its start and to visit the world famous Wall of Fame. Yeah. Grant's history covers many genres of music. We want to celebrate all 4 decades of Grant's legacy with Southern rock, live rhythm and blues, the disco era, and the line dance. We have 4 great days planned. I'm going to let my brother tell you about the days, but I want to just say that me and my brother are very proud to be the owners of Grant's Lounge and celebrating our 40th anniversary along with Black History Month.
All right. Oh, it's really an honor to stand before you. I appreciate everybody coming out, all the wonderful faces. But we're going to have 4 wonderful days of celebration at Grant's Lounge. It's going to start by celebrating our Southern rock history. And we're going to be doing that starting on Wednesday, March the 2nd. We're going to kick off everything with a reception from 7 o'clock until 8 o'clock. We'll have an acoustic guitarist and vocalist, Devin McCoy. Then we'll have a short program. And this is going to give several people an opportunity to come up and tell their Grant's Lounge story. There are a lot of them. Followed by the Lee Boys from Miami, Florida. And now on Thursday, we're going to celebrate our disco history. Those of you that like swing dancing, you know, one of the first DJs at Grant's was the drummer for James Brown. Yeah. And that was, his name was John Morgan, called him Long John. But we're going to celebrate that history and bring in a special guest DJ for that night, and it's going to begin at 9 o'clock. We'll be open every evening from 6, though, open house if you'd like to come out and just visit the Wall of Fame. Then on Friday, another era of Grant's was the big band era, you know, with the show bands. Percy Welch, Eddie Kirkland, Bill Corday all played at Grant's. But to celebrate this part of Grant's history, we're going to bring in for the first time in 30 years, Harold Thomas, who is Macon's own saxophonist. Harold played with the Allman Brothers as well, and he's going to bring with him his show band, Danger Zone. So that's on Friday, beginning at 9 o'clock. Now on Saturday, you know, disco brought a new style of dancing that didn't require that you have a dance partner, called line dancing. You're all familiar with that. So to celebrate this part of Grant's history, we're going to move all the tables and chairs, and we're going to have a set it off line dancing party with all the favorite line dancing steps over the last 10 years. So electric slide, hustle, cha-cha slide, the Cupid slide, and those of you that are younger may even be familiar with the wobble wobble. So it's going to be 4 great days, and we invite you all to come out and celebrate with us. We have one other person that we're going to call up at this time. Wyo, who is it? Is it Floco? Floco? Okay, come on.
Floco Torres.
First, I just wanted to say that I'm honored to be able to be here and be standing up here with Mr. Grant. I mean, I've done a couple of shows in the last recent year at Grant's Lounge, and just to know all of the history and everything that comes with that, and the legacy that we're trying to, you know, keep going and build at in our own time is like just really cool. So I want to say that first. I think at some point we're gonna do maybe like a song for you and show you some of the things that we're doing and making music now. It's just really awesome. My friend Josh Graff is here, amazing guitarist. Like, he's played in some great bands in Macon and a lot of other places too. So we're just trying to keep the legacy going and build something that, you know, in 15, 20 years, people will be talking about what we did here right now. So thank you for having us here.
So that pretty much concludes our press conference. We appreciate everybody coming. If there are any questions, you know, for me, Cheryl, or for John, we'd be happy to answer them. We sort of went through everything real quick, but they told us it should be 15 minutes. Did we make it? We tried to do it in 15 minutes. Any questions, sir? All right. Very good. Well, thank you very much. Well, John's got it for, wait a minute, Jose has his hand up. Ashley Grant's opened its doors February 16th, 1971. So, but we're going to be celebrating it the 2nd of March, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And on the 2nd, we're going to have a reception from 7 until 8. So that's pretty much the big event, the reception from 7 until 8. We expect the mayor and a lot of the city officials and all will be down that particular day.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.